Hey guys, Metagross Freak here with the second of the 6 TOA for the 2015 Bionicle reboot. It's time for Pohatu, Master of Stone. He comes with a it's a Metro Blue or Navy Blue Skull Spider. This one has a 5th leg to use as like a scorpion stinger. As you can see, he has these boomerangs and kind of a spear. He's also the smallest of the TOA. There are three $20 sets and three $15 sets. And of the $15 sets, he has the least number of pieces at 66. He also has the least number of, I guess you could say, features. As TOA Go is very plain. That's not bad. He's very simple, and so that leads a lot of people who have been looking over the designs of the different TOA to believe that he may have been the first of the 6 created. I'm having an issue opening this box now. I did cut the tape. There we go. Inside this box, oh, and we do have a quick little comic on the back, though there is a comic in the instruction booklet which shows basically a more detailed version of this story. In the bag, we have all your big armor pieces. We have your handy-dandy instruction booklet. The standard character building system body. And a bag with all the little bitty pieces. So, I am going to, similar with the Liwa video, this was made on the same day, I'm going to bake I was making sure that I didn't miss anything. I'm going to make a skeleton of the figure and then show putting all the armor on as kind of my tribute to the original 2001 Bionicle. So I'll see you on the other side. I'm back, and good God, Pohatu is bizarre. First to go over some extra pieces, because I had some. I had one of these little stoppers, a plug, which you can never have too many of those. One of these little mini fangs. I like these. These are fun for spike characters. And one of these new fangs. I love this. I'm going to definitely be holding onto this. I only needed one for the set, so it's really cool that I got an extra one because I can use it for something else. But back to Pohatu, he's bizarre. I mean, he's got these translucent yellow pieces, which I'm not sure if they're supposed to be lightning or if they're supposed to be like a desert crystal or what's going on. But I mean, one arm is completely black and one arm is completely this transparent, like lime green. And then his legs are very weird because, you know, only the calves are yellow. And it really kind of makes you wonder who designed the color scheme. Compared to Liwa, his gearbox actually sits lower. Let me unplug it to show you. This is how the gearbox normally is on Pohatu. The arms line up with the Hero Factory torso. Meanwhile, Pohatu's is his is lower. Liwa's is up here, set up higher. I'm not gonna plug it. I'll plug it in a little bit, but his is set up higher. I'm not sure if that was just the character of Liwa or whatever, but that's very bizarre that his gearbox is sufficiently lower. Also, the fact that it's his limbs in general. Pohatu, compared to Liwa, has shorter calves, which means he's automatically shorter. But the fact that his arms aren't normal either. He doesn't have these normal thigh pieces here on the arms. In fact, he actually has. I'll show you with the black arm to make it easier to see. He actually just has 2 of the same piece. Meaning he doesn't have that elbow swivel unless you make him do like power crunches, but his arms bend different. It's also worth noting that he doesn't have gears on both sides of his gearbox. It's only the one side, which is apparently the translucent arm. I was actually really disappointed in this because when I was assembling this, I accidentally got the gearbox twisted around And so I thought Pohatu would be left-handed, and I'm left-handed myself, so I was actually looking forward to this. I was actually looking forward to a character who is a little derpy, but left-handed, and I thought that'd be really cool. Unfortunately, he isn't left-handed, though if I really wanted to, I could always just switch the gears around. He has a little stopper preventing, and a lack of a gear preventing his left arm from getting any movement. So to put Pohatu together, before I even begin, I want to say that he's got some interesting chest armor too. I haven't personally seen this piece, but it kind of looks, it looks like you could put a normal Hero Factory core in, but it kind of makes me think of like Iron Man. I couldn't think of what it went with. The only thing I can think of is Iron Man. Here's the blue skull spider if you want to see me demonstrate what it looks like. Oh, this one has a stinger though. Check out the Liwa video. It should be near the end. But yeah, this one even has little clips. So I guess if you wanted to, you could put that on. It's kind of weird that it has these little snap things on the side. Especially because it doesn't even matter because it is covered up by his printed chest plate. I'll give you a quick look at that. It's kind of cool. But I guess if you wanted to, you could have two legs cross over or something. I don't know. In fact, even if you can see, it doesn't even. It goes more than halfway, meaning they'd be kind of like bulging out. It's really weird, and it's an odd choice of a chest piece. I'm going to wait, though, to see if that piece is used in more of the sets before I make too many judgments, but it's an odd choice considering the normal Hero Factory piece was used for Liwa. But I do like these abs. The plated abs are kind of nice, as opposed to the flatter stomach of Liwa. Keep in mind, I only have Liwa to go off of. So there we go. We have a very bulky torso right there. I'm going to try to get a better angle. Liwa has, sadly enough, to cover up his glowing yellow thighs. He has normal silver thigh armor, but similar to Liwa, he does have these knee plates. However, his are on his thighs. As you can see, that offers quite a bit of protection on the knees. I'll show from a side view. That is quite a bit of protection there over the knee, and is actually a better kneecap, I guess. I'm just thinking from a character design perspective, it looks like he has boots. Looks like he has these big metal boots, which harkens back to the original Pohatu, who had the quote-unquote foot additions as a weapon. It's an interesting figure, and I probably shouldn't have started with Liwa, but he's an interesting character to build. Surprisingly enough, the boring arm is the one that has traditional armor. It literally just has these silver plates over it. And I think that was one of the reasons why people were saying, oh, well, you know, that's why he's kind of boring. He does have another one of these knee plate pieces, but the knee plate piece and the piece that has the big bulky armor is the one that goes over his glowy arm. I don't know what I'm gonna call it, the glowy arm. It's kind of weird. In fact, you can even see that on the instructions that's the one to use. Yeah, that's the one to use for the brown armor. I actually do want to check something. I think I may have put a piece of armor on wrong. And let me see. Am I right? Nope, I was wrong. I have this on upside down. I'm glad I checked. Yeah, so, sorry, this goes facing upwards. So he's got a nice little pauldron on one shoulder. It's kind of weird. He doesn't have any shoulder armor, but that's also probably why his piece count is so low. Because he's kind of bland. I think they make up for the fact that he doesn't have all this super awesome stuff by the fact that he's not unoriginal, but he's just kind of, they make up for the color design. They make up with the color design. I like the colors. It's just his colors are very odd. I probably will be swapping out these two forearms just so they kind of match the color scheme of the legs. As his two weapons, actually as his three weapons go, he has a Rakshi staff as a dagger. This attaches to the back. Again, kind of giving him a tail kind of thing, which looks really weird because it isn't armor. And from certain angles, kind of looks like a weird... I'm just going to say it looks like he has a stinger. In fact, I'm even uncomfortable just having it visible on camera. His weapons are two boomerangs. The boomerangs are really interesting. They are two halves of the same piece connected on one half of a plug. As you can see, the other half is there for attaching to the feet in the super mode. And the instructions show that the plug on both boomerangs faces away from Pohatu. He has these cool little Borak eye hooks, I guess, to match his element or energy or whatever. And last but not least, we'll put on the Mask of Stone. So yeah, it's you know, he looks probably a lot shorter because of the camera angle. So let me tilt up the camera, show you what he looks like in his full stature, and then I'll show you the super mode with the golden mask. As you can see, with a different camera angle, he looks a lot taller. He's still short, but he looks taller. And he can actually tilt his head down because he doesn't have a ridiculous chin. Tilting the head down, however, does not cause the brain stock to pop his mask off, so he can kind of look down, and because he doesn't have the backpack up really high, he can basically look straight up, which is kind of nice because Liwa can't look up for balls. He has no neck movement, which is one of my few criticisms with Liwa. So for your action, you have the cool boomerang slashing movement. In case you're wondering, yes, they do close. However, it makes it very difficult with the spike in the way. So you'd have to tilt the hand like that, and you can close it there. If you remove the Borak eye, they do completely close the hinge, or you could choose to leave it completely open and have this weird, very engine-y looking sword kind of thing. I'm now going to do the super mode. Last little thing, I mentioned Pohatu is shorter than Liwa. I'll compare them all when I'm done building all of them. However, as you can see, Pohatu, because of his lowered backpack, he has definitely lower shoulders, but because of the calves, and probably also in part with the shoulders, he's maybe about an inch shorter. You really can't tell, just based going on back to back. You know, he goes up to here on Liwa. You know, his head hits the back gear. So he's, I mean, I'd say maybe at most an inch. So the height difference isn't that big. If you're thinking it's going to be that big of a deal, don't worry about it. It's hardly noticeable when they're side by side. So Pohatu's gold mask mode features his boomerangs on his feet, kind of like he has little jet plane hoverboards, and you actually can fold them up like this. Again, the spike does get in the way a little. The Borak eye gets in the way of folding it up completely, but they do fold up, and it looks ridiculous like this. However, the comic shows it flipped around. The comic shows them flipped around like this, almost as if they're like snowshoes or like, I guess you could call them sand shoes. Either way, I think it's kind of cute though that he has you leave the Borak eye on them because it looks like he has little landing lights, or like these, you know, those little safety lights that planes have. He also has to have a weird leg. He has to do like the splits because the wingspan makes it difficult to put them together unless you want them to crash. I also haven't figured out the perfect pose, but with the spear, in the action, you can get some cool slashing, stabbing motion on with his dagger. The gold mask, you can't really tell that much difference, in my opinion, in the light. I mean, this is more of a reddish, and this is more of a yellowish. But in my opinion, the gold mask doesn't really look all that great. It also kind of breaks up the color scheme, because the only gold he has is a little bit right there on the chest. I think it'd be better if they gave him a silver mask. With Liwa, it kind of works, but with Liwa, I also thought he needed a silver. So I will let you know when I decide on that. So yeah, that is Pohatu. I'm really kind of glad that he's actually a simpler figure, because Pohatu isn't a super complicated character. you know, he doesn't need a lot to be like this big guy. Pohatu in the original series was kind of a simple character as well. Not simple isn't a bad thing. Simple as in like, you know, there wasn't a lot to him, but that was okay. He basically his entire character is he's just this, this strong. He's this big strong guy who runs really fast, and he's a friend to everyone. And so I'm kind of glad that they left the new Pohatu fairly simple in design, because it kind of reflects on that. It makes Pohatu seem just kind of like this down to earth, no pun intended. I know technically he's the toe of stone, but down to stone guy that seems kind of lovable, and I like that. Um, we'll see how this works out in the actual series. I'm not sure how they'll characterize Pohatu fully, but hopefully it'll make him better. I'm actually a real big fan of these boomerangs, even though they're kind of like unwieldily large. They're still pretty cool, and he can like summon tornadoes with them. Also a thing here, you can pose the arm, and when you shake him around and stuff, the gearbox does not make his arm move. I like that. I like that a lot. It looks really cool. It looks really cool that you can pose him and then use gears and stuff. So yeah, there's Pohatu, Master of Stone, from the 2015 Bionicle line from the reboot. Thank you for watching. I'm Metagross Freak, and if you want to see more videos like this, please look below, or to the side, or whatever YouTube format's next.